I'm not very good with the language, but of course I speak, broken Korean to my mom, and I learned how to read a little bit and went to a Korean course. But I grew immersed in my Korean culture. I was raised primarily with my mom, so I feel like I'll always be Korean. And American. I mean, those two are the biggest parts of my life. So I've been to Korea maybe 5 times, and I want to take my daughter there, and I love it. I love my culture. I love the food. I love the customs. I love the tradition. So I don't think it's a trend. I think it's just that we're becoming more diverse as a people, and it's inevitable. And every year that passes, it becomes that much more easier for an Asian actor to succeed. It's easier for actors now than it was for me 10 years ago. It's just, you see so much diversity, not just Asian, you see more African Americans, you see more Indian, more Middle Eastern. You just see it because it has to reflect what's happening in the world, and it would just be, we have to evolve. So yeah, I don't think it's a trend, because a trend assumes that it's going to end and it's just something that's a novelty, but if you look around, there's just such a diversity. So the entertainment industry has to reflect that. I think the reason I have worked in sci-fi is because sci-fi always seems to lend itself to Asian Americans. For some reason, they always see the future as Japanese or Chinese or Asian in some regard, that the Asians are innovators and they're going to run the world, and I think that's why I get cast in these kind of shows. And I think that sci-fi, I think you'll go through different kinds of trends of sci-fi, but just the element of sci-fi will always be popular because it's been popular since Twilight Zone or since Blade Runner, or people just like sci-fi because there's many elements of sci-fi. There's horror, there's fantasy. I mean, you've got Game of Thrones, you've got zombies. You have such a wide range, and it never seems to get old. I don't think we're going to see that end soon. I just liked action films. I liked sci-fi. I think I have an analytical mind. I think I tend to like to ponder about life and existentialism, and that stuff has always been intriguing to me. So I just gravitate towards those movies, and I think that's why I've worked in that industry. I see foreign content breaking into the U.S. because there are just so many more people in the world, and people have so much more access to making films. They can make a film on their iPhone. They can, put something on YouTube. There's so many different means to entertainment that, of course, the foreign element is going to just get bigger and expand more. And because there's more of a demand for it. I just think we're just every year opening bigger and wider in the entertainment industry in terms of like what we're seeing, from foreign films to sci-fi to web series to just even the introduction of Twitter and Instagram and all that. I mean, it's just a digital world now, so of course you're going to see things more. My friend Daniel Day Kim is doing a show. I think that was a show in Korea about doctors, and he's making that in the U.S. and that's great. There's so many Korean dramas and so many non-Koreans who watch those dramas. Eventually one is going to make it to the States and hopefully be successful. I think Korea is very ambitious and works so hard and does such great work that inevitably they're going to be a part of the U.S. mainstream industry. Right now I'm just being a stay-at-home mom. I worked so hard on that last season. I just want to be home. I don't have any plans, but I'd love to come back to London. I mean, it's a beautiful city with a lot happening in it, and there's a lot of productions that get shot out here, but right now I live in the country with my family and I live a very quiet life. No, but I watched a Korean movie with my mom the other night about chefs. I can't remember the name. They were competing about who made the best kimchi. And I do watch that show, Superman, where the actors watch the male actors or male entertainers watch their kids while their wives are not there. My mom and I watch that together. It's hilarious.
Yeah, here we have Running Man, everyone is going crazy for it.
What's Running Man?
It's all the Korean celebrities basically competing in teams, and
they do a lot of that in Korea.
Yeah. And this is being remade in the US. I think. And
the US?
There's another one called Grandpas of the Flowers, where elderly actors actually travel around the world with not much money, and get along together.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's it called?
Grandpas Over Flowers. It's based on the drama Boys Over Flowers, and
In Korea?
yeah.
Oh wow, I gotta check that out. Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad.